With 2023 coming to a close, we're going to rank every single LEGO Star Wars 2023 minifigure from worst to first. Let's talk about it. In dead last at number 69 is Captain Vaughn, probably one of the laziest clone troopers that LEGO has ever created. He doesn't really have any defining features that would make him Captain Vaughn. With his visor, I never expected them to do a printed visor, but it would have been nice if they gave him a red visor instead of the orange visor. That would be the more appropriate color to have. On the chin of his helmet, he should have a red stripe going down, but instead his helmet is just exactly the same as the rest of the 332nd crew. The only difference between Vaughn and the regular 332nd troopers is the rank insignia on his torso. Overall, I would have preferred that this figure never be made. Taking spot number 68 is the young lime green Yoda from the Tenu Jedi Temple set. Overall, this Yoda is very accurate to the depiction in the show, but it's based off a kid's show and it's just not my cup of tea. I don't have much more to say about it than that. That's why Young Yoda takes number 68. Number 67 is the Holiday Pit Droid from the Advent Calendar. Now, fundamentally, there's nothing wrong about this guy. I'm not a huge fan of brick-built droids. I don't really have any uses for this pit droid or anything, but nothing's actually wrong with this figure, so I cannot blame you if you like this pit droid. Number 66 is the Gonk droid from the TIE Bomber. Once again, not huge into Gonk droids or buildable droids, but the reason this is the worst Gonk droid is he basically just looks like a Imperial ammo crate with legs. There's not much to him. He doesn't have a digital computer screen or anything. It doesn't actually look like a droid at all. So that is why he is number 66. Number 64 and 65 both go together, Lith Sole and Kai Brightstar. Also from the Tenu Jedi Temple, that kid set that Yoda is from. Overall, I don't even know who these characters are. Lith Sole's blue. I don't know who she is or what she does. They kind of look weird to me because they're meant for ages 4+. They're for a kid set and a kid show that I don't watch. I don't really have a big opinion on them, so that's why they're so low on the list. Number 63, Yoda from Yoda's Starfighter. This Yoda looks a lot like the original trilogy Yoda, which would be fine if he was based off of that kind of set. But he's based off of a Clone Wars set. Bring back the old Clone Wars Yoda. That was by far my favorite Yoda of all of them. I don't even like the shade of green used for this style of Yoda. I don't like the hard plastic head. I love the feeling of that old rubber head. It was just so nice. Number 62, the Gonk droid from the C-3PO and Gonk droid polybag. At least it has a computer screen this time. 61, the female rebel crew member from the Yavin 4 set. Overall, this figure just lacks a ton of detail. No leg printing or arm printing. Just really as the torso printing, it's pretty bare bones and plain. And then to top it off, her hat has no visor in it, and they didn't make a unique mold to make it okay, so it just kind of looks goofy. Number 60, the Coruscant Guard Commander Fox. Now, LEGO honestly dropped the ball with this figure. First of all, starting top to bottom, his visor, I feel like it should be black, but that's not the biggest deal. There's some controversy on whether it's black or dark bluish gray would be the proper color. I think it looks better black. But his torso, the white part was printed on a red torso, so when you look at it in person, it's actually pink instead of red. That's not great. The red should go right up to the breastplate, but instead, kind of like the middle section of the clone's armor is also white, so it's inaccurate there. And like all clones recently, he has a printed on waist cape. Terrible. Please give us cloth waist capes once again. Number 59, the training droid from the Tenu Jedi Temple set. Pretty cool idea. A little droid with an astromech head swinging a lightsaber around. Number 58, Holiday Rey. Now this figure honestly just has a lack of detail. She doesn't have leg printing or arm printing, really just has the torso printing. 57 is Admiral Sloane from the TIE Bomber. Overall, this figure is mostly fine, but after we got Admiral Yularen with dual molded legs, to me, it really has become a necessity. Let's start making all the officers for Republic and Imperial all have dual molded legs. It just adds a ton Number 56, R2 BHD. This is the silver astromech from the Yavin 4 Temple set. Overall, I love the variety of astromechs that we got in 2023, but this guy is the worst. The silver all just kind of blends together a little bit. He's not by any means a bad astromech. I love that we have him, but he's just not the best. 55 is the Rebel Fleet Trooper from the Yavin 4 set. Overall, this is a big improvement on the old Rebel Fleet Troopers that we used to get. He has pockets on his vest and everything. Unfortunately, no leg printing still. Honestly, I think that most our figures nowadays should be getting leg printing. But really what we need is actually dual molded legs on these guys to look like they're boots. That'd be really nice. Number 54, Holiday Finn. I'm just not a big sequel fan, but he's got leg printing and belt printing. He's leagues above the Holiday Ray. He actually has some detail. He has his ugly Christmas sweater with the Rebellion logo. He's a pretty solid character, just not huge into sequels. Number 53, Morgan Elsbeth. Now, from the torso up, this character is pretty much perfect, but her dress is just black completely. It has no printing at all. If her dress just had some like ripples or something in it, she would be almost to the top of the list, but it just looks so odd with just nothing there. Number 52, the Holiday Ewok. Now honestly, I love Ewoks so much. I think it's great that this is a thing, but I can't really justify putting him any higher on this list than where he is at right now. Number 51 is Vane, and 50 is the Snub Fighter Pilot. Overall, I don't like that these two have the same exact head as each other. I think Vane should have a little bit of a more unique head, but the Snub Fighter Pilot I like slightly more just because I love the yellow color scheme on him. Number 49, R2-E6, the black astromech from the Fang Fighter versus TIE Interceptors. Overall, love this figure and love the variety of astromechs. Number 48, the 501st Clone Officer. Not a fan of the printed on waist capes. Number 47, the 332nd Trooper, and then 46 is the 332nd Trooper with the blue jetpack. Overall, from the torso down, they're perfectly fine. I'm not a big fan of the misplaced helmet holes, just because to me it looks blatantly worse than when they had no helmet holes, but that's just my opinion. Number 45, the 501st Heavy Trooper. Overall, this trooper is fine. He's based off of Battlefront 2. I have no issues with him, although I'm not the biggest fan on how the Heavy Trooper looks in general. Personally, it's not a trooper that I'm gonna try an army build. Number 44, Padme from the Coruscant Guard gunship. So there's a couple of things wrong with this Padme. She uses the exact same head from the Jyn Erso head, when previously they have made a Padme head and it looked just like Padme. And then also she could use dual molded legs, honestly. That would just add so much more to this figure. 43, First Officer Hawkins from the Ghost. Overall, he's pretty accurate, kind of a bland figure, could use dual molded legs. 42, Holiday Emperor Palpatine. I'm all for this figure with his Christmas Death Star sweater. It's honestly really cool. He's actually got some nice leg printing as well. 41, Shin Hati. 40 is Balin Skull. Overall, these two should really have capes. They're pretty solid minifigures other than that. But in the Ahsoka show, I don't think we ever saw them without capes. So it would have been really nice if LEGO would have just given us a couple appropriate capes for these two. 39, Indoor Leia from the Advent Calendar. 38 is Indoor Leia from the Indoor Diorama. The main difference is the one from the Advent Calendar has hair, the one from the diorama has a helmet. The one huge thing that these two are missing is a cloth poncho, which we previously have gotten on an Indoor Leia, so it's disappointing that LEGO's cutting back cloth usage for so many Star Wars minifigs. 37, Luke from the Indoor Diorama. Now, I don't know what LEGO was doing with this guy's legs, but he has like black representing his boots like halfway up his leg. They're not dual molded legs, they're not on the bottom, and they're only on the front of his legs. It looks really weird. Other than that, from the torso up, he's a perfectly fine minifigure. 36 and 35. Both TIE Fighter pilots on the outside look exactly the same. The only difference is one has a male head, one has a female head. You can't tell when the helmet's on. The only thing I don't like about these guys is on the back of their helmet, it doesn't cover like half the head. It's not that big of a deal though. 34, Obi-Wan Kenobi from the paper bag. Overall, he's pretty solid. I like his hood and everything. I feel like he does also need a cape. 33, Chopper from the Ghost. they pretty much nailed him. His legs are a different color than his body, which is accurate to the show. No real complaints here. 32, the reindeer gonk droid from the advent calendar. I might not like gonk droids that much, but I have to admit, this is a very creative gonk droid, and I kinda dig it. 31, the stormtrooper from the stormtrooper mech. I might not like the set that it comes in, but overall, this is a pretty solid stormtrooper. Number 30, Captain Rex from the UCS Venator. Now, this is a bit of a controversial one. There's things I like about him and things I don't like. I've actually moved him slightly up in my tier list than where he was originally. But starting with the helmet, his visor is way too narrow. His visor should go back around to the dimples or even a little further maybe on his head. But they don't. They cut off pretty early. It's really narrow. It just looks a bit goofy. On his breastplate, his ammo pouch covers an entire breastplate. That just looks weird to me. I get how that's how it was in the live action show, but he's based off of the Clone Wars version where it should not have been like that. Then he has really nice arm printing. The first clone ever to get arm printing. That's pretty big, so I'm ecstatic about that. Although his cloth pauldron, it's a bit too long. It covers pretty much his entire arm, so you don't really get to see that printing on one side. Now, that's how it was in the previous Rex as well, but there have been cloth pauldrons that only cover about half the arm or so. And then moving down, this character comes in a $650 UCS Venator, where I am meant to be able to display him, and he still has a printed waistcape. He would look best on display with a cloth waistcape. This isn't for kids. I don't understand why he does not get a cloth waistcape. Overall, those are my thoughts about Rex. Let me know what you think about him in the comments down below. 29, Boba Fett from Boba Fett's Starship Microfighter. Overall, he's a pretty solid character. One thing that bugs me about this Boba Fett is the dark green and black kind of meshed together. It's a bit hard to make out some of the finer details. And then his helmet is miscolored from his body, which is really odd. It's a different color shade of green. I don't know why they did that. 28, Princess Leia from Yavin 4. She has a white dress. She looks completely fine. Her dress actually has printing. 27, Captain Porter as a New Republic pilot. This figure is actually really cool. I love the New Republic pilot color scheme. It just looks really nice. He's really detailed. I don't have any complaints with him. 26, Red Leader. 25, Gold Leader. Gotta love the classic pilots. 24, Lieutenant Beta. I love a good Mon Calamari. I love the orange markings on the top of his head and stuff. I think he's really well done, and also comes with the same New Republic outfit as Captain Porter does. 23 is Luke Skywalker from the Emperor's Throne Room set. Overall, I really do like this character. I like his new hair mold. Some people say it looks like a mop. I think it looks good. The main complaint about him is no leg printing at all. Darth Vader in the same set has some nice leg printing, so I feel like we should expect Luke should have also had leg printing as well. 22, Sabine Wren from the T6 shuttle. Overall, she's a solid character, has a nice helmet and everything, but I think that Mandalorians, it should be a necessity that we get arm printing, especially on Sabine Wren with her vibrant colors, having her vibrant shoulder pads and everything. I think that should have been a necessity. This is a figure that needed arm printing. 21 is the Shock Trooper from the Coruscant Guard gunship. Overall, solid printing and everything. I'm still not a big fan of the helmet holes, but that's the only issue with this figure. 20, the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. Overall, this is a very solid figure. I love the chrome printing on his torso, and his helmet looks nice as well. He even has a hairpiece. He doesn't have arm printing. Unlike with the Bean, it's not quite as necessary, but like I said, I feel like all Mandalorians should get arm printing. Alright, I actually forgot one minifigure that certainly cannot go in the top 20, and that is Jason Syndulla. So he will go all the way back to number 56 in front of R2-BHD, the silver astromech droid, and every figure from there on will be moved down one. The issue with Jason is basically he should have green hair, but he just has some regular looking brown hair. 18, the New Republic astromech droid. I love the color scheme on this droid. It's actually probably my favorite looking astromech droid that I've ever seen. 17, Celebration Luke. 16 is Celebration Han Solo. Overall, these two characters are really good. I love that they have a medal around their neck. 15, Chancellor Palpatine from the Coruscant Guard gunship. He has a nice printing on his dress and his torso. It all lines up. Nice hairpiece. He just looks really good. 14, the 501st Specialist Trooper. Now, the reason this guy is so much higher than all the other clone troopers is this is the first time we are getting macro binoculars, which is really nice. Back in the good old days, 2009, 2010, I used to be using whiteout on the clone visors to try and make a macro binocular. It's really nice that we finally have them. 13 is Merrick. This guy is really cool. His armor and helmet fit together perfectly. His armor actually has a little raised section that goes under his helmet, so you don't see any of his head or anything. It works really well. Number 12 is Hugh Yang. Now, this guy, he possibly should be a different color, maybe a light bluish gray. I overall expected them to put him on a droid body, but he's on a regular minifigure body. I kind of dig it. 11, the Emperor from the Emperor's Throne Room diorama. Overall, super solid figure. 10, Darth Vader from the TIE Bomber. And 9 is Darth Vader from the Emperor's Throne Room. Overall, they're super similar, super solid as well. Arm printing, leg printing, the whole 10 yards. They just have a few minor differences, including like cape material and stuff. Number 8, the Imperial Scout Trooper, which I did not understand the hype around this guy until I got him recently. This is an amazing minifigure. His helmet is crazy awesome. 7, Harrison Dula, super solid Leku mold. On her back, it has the Phoenix Squadron emblem. She's super detailed. Love this figure. 6, Admiral Yularen. Now, this figure may look a little bland, but he's got the dual molded legs, which is what I've been talking about all video. Those alone knock him up several tiers. He's got a nice face print and hair. He just looks great. 5, the Mandalorian. This Mandalorian blows all previous versions out of the water. He's got nice arm printing. His visors are way more narrow, which looks a ton better. Number 4, Boba Fett from the Boba Fett's mech. Now, this is a solid Boba Fett, probably one of the best Boba Fetts we've ever gotten. He blows the previous Boba Fett in this video out of the water. He has his colors all match up. They look really nice. I love the brighter color scheme on this guy. Now getting into the big leagues. Number 3, UCS Pilot Luke. This figure is absolutely amazing. He has black printed boots on the bottom. The rest of his legs are still printed. He's got nice printed arms. He's just a fabulous minifigure all the way around. Number 2 is Ahsoka Tano from the T6 shuttle. She has fabulous arm printing, fabulous printing all the way around. What really is an eye catcher here is the best Ahsoka Leku mold that we've ever seen. I love this Leku that she has. And then she's got like toe printing. She's got all the detail. And finally, Bo-Katan from the Spider Tank set. Now, this Bo-Katan blows the Clone Wars Bo-Katan out of the water. Her hair mold is so good, so much better. It doesn't look awkward like the old one. Her arm printing has her emblems on each shoulder. She is by far, in my opinion, the best minifigure of the year. This has been my 2023 LEGO Star Wars minifigures worst to first list. Let me know in the comments down below what you agree with and what you disagree. I love you, and I'll see you next time.